Okay, we're recording. What you're about to watch is an excerpt from one of our long marathon movies that we made, and we have to divide them up, so hard telling what you're going to see, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting. What do you think? Think they're going to be excited?
Yeah, I do.
Thrilled? Or are they going to hunt us down and hang us from a white oak tree?
I don't know. Does Missouri tree bear strange fruit?
Sometimes.
Then there's a possibility.
I don't know. But anyway, we hope you enjoy it. Remember, hit the like and subscribe. Help Grandma build up her escape nest egg so she can get away to some tropical island. And hope you enjoy it. Leave us a message. Somewhere deep in the Ozark woods lurks the two people everyone tries to avoid the most. If you're not careful, they may find you before you find them.
It's just not a street legal vehicle, unfortunately. All right, so next up, everyone's asking how much did this thing cost? Well, when you find these trucks on Alibaba, you'll see that they're usually listed for about $2,000 or so. But that's not the complete picture. When you see that it says $2,000, that's just the price of the bare truck. It doesn't even have batteries. So the truck itself cost me $2,000, but immediately I had to pay another $1,000 to get a battery put in it. Now I got the best battery I could. Instead of getting lead acid, I got lithium, and instead of the, cheap 50 amp hour lithium battery, I doubled it for 100 amp hours. Next, I spent another $500 on other upgrades. I added the air conditioning and I added the dump bed in the back. Both of those things I think are just going to be super useful. Next, I had the biggest expense yet. This was the single largest expense, was actually getting it out of China and to me here. It was $2,200 just to put it on a boat and bring it to the port of Miami. From there, I had to pay another $1,100 when it came into the port of Miami, and that covered all of the customs and duties and the broker fee, because I had to use an import broker. On top of that, I had to pay another $800, which are the arrival charges, which is basically a ransom that the shipping company, or I guess it's technically the logistics company that receives it from the shipping company, charges you. There's no way to get around that, and it's all like just nonsense charges because they can, and you got to pay it. If you want your truck, you just got to pay them, unfortunately. But that wasn't the end of it. That just got my truck released in the port of Miami. But my parents don't live in Miami, so to get it several hours to their property, I had to find someone on Craigslist to truck it, and that was another $500. So all told, I am about $7,950 into this if I did my math.
Now, okay, see, now they've priced it plumb out of reasonable range for practical applications. This is what I'm saying. When you start adding all of this shit together, these trucks, they're not practical.
I'm a math major. I already did the math.
Yeah, it's not practical.
It's coming from China. You got to play what you call basically import, export taxes.
Hey, we could go to war with China, and you could go and you could bring this back as a trophy, war trophy, souvenir. Because you're allowed to bring back one souvenir, aren't you? That's not a firearm.
I don't know.
Well, you used to be able to. You could bring back souvenirs. So you could go over to, when we go to war to China, tell your cousin or your nephew that bring back a trophy. No, they're not practical, people. They're not practical. You can build it yourself here and do better welding. So, all right. That's off the. I don't know what you were thinking about that you wanted one of these.
I did that. What?
And that is definitely more than I intended to spend going in. But that being said, if you look at what I got, I mean, a golf cart costs easily $8,000, and you could spend $10,000, $12,000 on a golf cart. And this is so much better than that. So I still think it's a pretty good deal, even though it's definitely more expensive than I intended for it to be. From here on out, I plan to do a lot of modifications to it. There's all sorts of interesting things you can do. My dad already wants to build something on the bed so that he can pick up the trash cans using the hydraulic dump and then carry them down to the road where they get picked up. They've got a really long driveway, so it's great that you can use a vehicle like this, even just going and getting the mail. instead of starting up a car and doing a few minute drive down the long driveway to get to the public road for the mailbox, now they can just hop in this thing and head down there. I mean, it's silly, right, to start up a 4,000-pound car and run a gas engine just to pick up a half pound of mail. So it makes more sense to burn a few electrons.
Yeah, so let's fire up a power generating plant. It's going to run off of tons of coal, natural gas, or nuclear power, so we can fire up our little car, so we can drive down to get our mail instead of walking or taking a bicycle. You're in fucking Florida. There's not a whole lot of days in Florida that's not a pleasant day for a stroll. So yeah, let's fire up a power plant, because I got to charge my electric car. Because generating electricity is so much easier on the environment. At least with running an engine, CO2 feeds plants. During the Carboniferous period, when all of this hydrocarbon fuel that we've got trapped in the earth that we're now extracting for energy, when all of that was growing, the CO2 level on this planet was much higher than it is now. So to say that the CO2 levels on this, that we are reaching unprecedented levels, no, we're not even close. And life thrived pretty freaking good during the Carboniferous period, when all of that CO2 was in the atmosphere and all the places. You go out there to a farmer on these big industrial farms to increase their crops. What do? They'll put CO2 generators out. What did we do in our grow? We had a CO2 generator grow. The only time we turned that CO2 generator off is when we had 5 or 6 people in the building, because we were generating plenty of CO2 on our own, and those plants went apeshit. So, no, saying CO2 is bad for the environment, you ignorant. Anyway. Where's my kitty? Where's my kitty?
In this video, no animals were harmed.
This is my voodoo doll. See, I pet him and I go, it's nothing personal, but you are right now representing the stupid people of the world. Okay, real good.